Greetings everyone. So the video you're about to watch is the recording of me and my best friend Dakota, or Sinthe, I call them by both names in this video, absolutely mowing down the people in Pancho's Discord server, both Pancho and his fans, on their transphobic beliefs. I'm not too sure what led me to the decision to join Pancho's Discord server. I'm not too familiar with the guy. I've only been sent a couple of clips of him talking about trans issues, which he didn't seem to be too well informed on. A lot of the claims that he made were just outright absurd and like level 1 arguments you'd find on the issue. So, you know, I've never really watched any of his content or anything like that. But I talked to Sinthe and we both ended up joining into his main channel of his Discord server and picking apart his fans' beliefs until Pancho eventually joined himself to discuss the claims that he makes in his videos. So the first part of the video is going to be Sinthe and I talking to Pancho's fans, because when I asked you guys in the Discord server, you all said that you wanted to see that included in the video, so I'll leave that in. So you can find the link to the Discord server as well as the timestamps to skip to the part where we talk to Pancho in the description, though I don't recommend it because the beginning is quite entertaining if I do say so myself. The only other thing I wanted to say before I start the video in this little introductory segment is that I was very nice to Pancho. A little bit too nice. I don't think he came across well in our conversation at all. I think it was pretty obvious that he was running away from the claims that he was making and he couldn't justify anything that he had said. But I know people will point out that I took it really easy on him, and yeah, I did. But yeah, I hadn't seen a lot of the clips where he talked about how like Jewish people made transness or whatever, and he seemed really eager to get off of the conversation and stop talking to me about it. And I figured that Sinthe had been mean enough already, so I didn't really see a need to push him super hard on it. I think it was kind of obvious he didn't know what he was talking about. So I just kind of let him run away from the claims. Definitely could have been a little bit more pushy about it, but what can you do? You know, I hadn't seen the clips beforehand. With that being said, enjoy Sinthe and I good cop, bad copping through an entire Discord server.
Pancho for president. 2024.
No, bro. The world would collapse.
Look at this Pancho guy's YouTube channel now, and like, Jesus Christ, each and every single one of these videos is retarded.
Bro, what?
You heard me.
Your opinion.
Huh? Yeah, like he's got a bunch of these arguments he's making here on these videos, and none of them make any sense. Like, his arguments against vegans are shit. His arguments against trans people are shit.
Because he can't articulate himself properly, so you don't really understand what he's trying to say. Like, I don't really.
We understand what he's trying to say. Both me and
yeah, I don't understand what he's trying to say. It's just like you see how he like talks in his videos and stuff like this.
I don't think it's a matter of having a difficult time articulating himself. I think it's really obvious what he's trying to say. They're just stupid. Like, sometimes people just say stupid shit.
Yeah. I mean, half of his statements are just assuming that everyone knows that, like, what he's talking about and what he's trying to say. And
I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
He could work on how he said.
Wait, what do you guys think the argument is?
Well, specify.
If you're trans, you're delusional.
Yeah, what do you think is his argument in favor of being trans people being trans? What do you think is his argument in favor of that?
Oh, well, basically, it's just like body dysmorphia.
Dysmorphia? What's body?
One thing I don't like about fans like this is that they'll just blindly listen to everyone's opinion and like won't even think about it themselves. Like, sure, there are some things that I just don't agree with.
Real quick. Just give me 1 second to have a little chat with this guy. So, what do you think body dysmorphia is?
I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know what it is, but I don't know exactly how to describe it.
Body dysmorphia is, right? You don't have to know off the top of your head. It's an unfair question to like. I'm just wondering if you know. So when people talk about body dysmorphia in a medical sense, what they're talking about is some kind of delusion whenever it comes to the self-perception of your body, right? So I've got body dysmorphia to some degree. Some degree, I see my body in a way that's like different than other people will, and that like drives certain actions. Gender dysphoria. Dysphoria is a very different thing from dysmorphia. Right, those are two different.
I meant to say that.
If you think that gender dysphoria is a delusion, right? I just asked like, what's the delusional part of gender dysphoria?
Okay, this is basic biology. A man cannot be a woman, and a woman cannot be a man. It's simple.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
biology
that's really cool. But the thing that you were asked wasn't what is basic biology, right? What you were asked was, what's the delusion? Like, what do they believe that's false?
Either a man believes that they're a woman, or a woman believes that they're a man.
So whenever whenever trans women say that they are women, right? That they say they believe that they're women. What do you think that they mean whenever they say woman? What do they believe that they are?
A woman.
Yeah, I'm asking you to tell me what that word means in the sentence. I didn't ask you to repeat back to me what I just said.
No, bro, it sounds like some pop quiz, bro. It sounds like some Kahoot.
Yeah, Black Jellyo, what do you think the word woman means when a trans woman says that she's a woman? What do you think she means by that?
A woman means somebody. A woman simply means somebody who can give birth.
That you don't believe that, do you?
Well, first of all, that's not going to be true. And then secondly, do you think that like trans people believe that they can give birth? Trans women believe that?
Some do, some don't.
Some do. Do you know any?
Yes.
Can you give me an example of any of them that do? Do you know a single one that does?
No, because I don't really watch any trans creators or anything.
So when you say that some do believe that, why do you think some believe that?
Because of the echo chamber.
Literally, I was about to say.
Well, look, if somebody believes that a man can become a woman.
That's not what I asked, right? I asked why you
No, hold on. No, let me.
Well, I'm gonna let you.
No, he's getting there. He's getting there.
I'm gonna.
Bro, let him cook.
So you can cook for a little bit, and then after you're done cooking, you put away all the utensils and everything that you use. Okay. Then we're gonna come back to my question. All right.
If
Let him cook
a
till he
man
burns.
believes that they can become a woman, then surely they would be stupid enough to think that a trans man, aka a trans woman, aka a man, could give birth.
So when they say that they can become a woman, what does the word woman mean in that sentence?
This is so fucking
Someone
stupid.
who
Why are
can
we
give
arguing?
birth.
Honestly,
wait,
both probably underage too.
So just real
I know.
quick, to clarify, right? Your justification for why you think that trans people believe that they can, like trans women believe that they can give birth, is because you think that trans people believe that they can give birth. That's the justification. You can't give me a single example of anybody who believes that. You like whenever they say that they're trans women, right? Like, do you think none of them notice that they like don't have a uterus? I think it's like never been noticed to them. Like this causes them great amounts of dysphoria. Like, not a single one of them has realized and like looked down and be like, oh damn, I've got a dick. Like, not you don't think one of them has?
No, hold on. Are we talking about people who haven't transitioned or have? Because
we're talking about trans people. That includes both. Right? But even trans people who have gone post-op and gotten bottom surgery, they're gonna know that like, oh yeah, I still don't have a uterus.
Well, some people are just retarded.
Yeah, can you give me a single example of somebody who believes this?
Just one trans person who believes the shit that you think that we do.
Legitimately, I'm not even saying like one prominent trans person. I'm saying one trans person at all. Just like anybody off.
Yep.
No, I don't know. I don't really use Twitter. Stupid website.
Okay.
So here's the issue. You just listen to someone that you like and you just stole their opinion. I recommend that you go get an opinion and like try to understand what it is you agree with and what it is you don't agree with, and just get like a solid definition.
But if continue the conversation.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, look, hold on. I'm gonna just sit back for like a couple minutes.
Alright. Just like understand that. Okay. Your opinion. Anyone's opinion. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, well, like on one hand, it's an opinion, but on the other hand, it's like kind of clearly wrong. I don't understand. I've never heard a good argument that trans people are delusional. I've never heard a single one. That's even
I think delusional is the wrong word. I think it's too like the implications of the word is like it's incorrect.
Not even the implication, just the descriptive meaning. Like there's no false belief, right? Like trans women aren't wrong when a trans woman says she's a woman, right? She's using the term woman in a different way. Yeah, she's not wrong, yeah. But part of that was confusing.
It's like the word itself can be interpreted and like it has multiple meanings.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you were to break down the word delusion into what people actually mean by it, they could get much more descriptive and you could like have more intelligent arguments than just saying that they're not delusional.
Well, what's the argument that they're going to be able to give that's intelligent? Like what's the definition of the word delusional you could use where trans women would be delusional?
Well, I'm on your side here, so I don't really think about this kind of stuff. I don't really have an issue with anything.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm saying that like I've heard a lot of really smart people even attempt to give good arguments, but they aren't able to give good arguments for this. It's just kind of obviously wrong. It's like trying to give a good argument that like water won't help you if you're thirsty, right? It's like obviously just wrong. Just go fucking drink some water.
But you know what? Sinthe. Well,
Sure, yeah.
how do I say that?
You can
All
say whatever you want.
right. Tell me, why do you believe what you believe?
Because I know that there is a large body of empirical evidence and research coming from a lot of really
No, break it
reputable
down for him, bro. He's not understanding
That's
a
what
single word you're
yeah,
saying.
you have to slow down, FSG, right? So look, usually people will say something and then break it down afterwards. So there's a large body of different medical organizations, and these medical organizations do a bunch of research, and what they show is that transitioning for trans people helps to reduce things like rates of suicide and depression. And if that's the case, I don't want people to be suicidal or depressed. I want people to have better quality lives, and so I think it's good for people to transition.
All right. I disagree with that because in like gay communities, trans communities, whatever LGBTQIA, I don't know what it's called now. And even those singular communities, there are higher rates of depression and suicide
Yeah.
than in cisgender and straight people.
Yep. Does it go anywhere, or is that the end of the argument?
So, why would you say that becoming, fully transitioning helps you not be depressed?
Yeah, so if you're part of a member of this community, saying that some particular thing that you do isn't going to be helpful for depression because like the rates of depression in the community are really high, that's kind of a silly argument, because then I could say something like, well, actually chemotherapy isn't good for cancer because people who have chemotherapy oftentimes have cancer. Like, that's just a silly argument. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, one is the treatment for the other. Well, no, that wasn't confusing, right? If you say something like you shouldn't transition because people who transition have higher rates of depression than most people, that's going to be a silly argument for the same reason that cancer death rates for people who have chemotherapy are higher than the general population. Because obviously one's a treatment for cancer. The chemotherapy is a treatment for cancer. I am, yeah.
You're trans. I'm not. Now, could you explain to me why the suicide rates are higher?
Yeah,
Discrimination.
So that's a big factor, yeah. It's just the fact that trans people are treated really poorly.
Well,
really,
just go to America.
Yeah,
I'm in America.
I'm around them all the time, and I make sure that I'm horrible to them constantly.
That's true.
True.
Yeah, man. Whenever I see a guy who has a little bit of a who actually takes estrogen, man, I actually go to his house and shoot him.
I mean, people do. I mean, like, people do that, right? Like, unironically, people do in fact do that. Like, you can make a joke and pretend like that doesn't happen, but there is a thing in law called there's a thing in law called the trans panic defense. Have you heard of the idea of a trans panic defense?
No.
So sometimes there are these cases where like a guy will murder a trans woman, and then afterwards say like, oh my god, the trans woman was like trying to have sex with me and she showed me her penis, and like that made me like enraged and I killed her. And there are cases in law where that's like won out in court. So clearly there's a lot of discrimination. There are a bunch of other examples. Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of other examples we can go over too. And it's not just like one-off examples of like just one law or something. But
look.
Yeah, we can take a look at just a couple of years ago. There was just a couple of years ago, right? The military banned being trans in it, right? That was pretty bad.
Oh yeah, because that affects you. How was that discriminatory? Okay,
it's discriminatory to ban. Well, what do you think discrimination is?
Okay.
Look, what do you think discrimination means?
To push somebody away because not.
Yeah, so do I need to spell out why discrimination?
An example.
Let him go. Hold on. Let him finish his sentence.
An example.
Hold on. Let Black Jelio finish his sentence. Discrimination is what? You said when you're pushed away because of what reason?
Discrimination is like basically
when you're pushed away because of.
When you're pushed away because of like some factor about you.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that if you push trans people out of the military, then they're being pushed away because of some factor about them?
Yes. Okay.
So they're being discriminated.
But look, hold on. If I have no leg, and I go to the military, and then I'm like, oh, I want to join the military, and they push me away. Oh, that's discrimination. Duh. Yeah. Okay.
So the issue is,
look,
if you're not going to not be able to serve in the military because you've got one leg. You won't be able to serve as like an infantry rifleman. But there are plenty of jobs you can do in the military with one leg. Yeah, I don't know if you know how the military works. So there are a lot of office jobs, right? Chair force jobs.
I don't want. Okay, look. This is not transphobic at all. This is not. I don't hate transgender people. Okay, I don't hate them at all. Look. If I were to go on the battlefield, why would I want somebody who is like a half man, half woman, talking about, oh, I mean, no.
Look, you can say you don't hate trans people, but this is like...
Hold on.
Go ahead.
If I'm on the battlefield, I want strong men and strong women, not this half breed, not this.
Why does that matter?
Well, I identify as a hummingbird.
Hold on. Yeah, I want to ask. Maybe
real quick.
You would probably ask that quick. Go ahead.
So do you not think that like trans people can be strong? I don't know if you've seen some of the trans guys we have walking around. Some of those motherfuckers are pumping enough like fucking trend to kill a man. Okay, like I would be fucking dead. So I don't know. Like that's clearly not the reason. The reason isn't because they
hold on.
be strong or something.
I'm not saying. Hold on.
Look, why would a trans guy be weaker?
I'm not
than
saying that trans people are weak.
I don't know what this moaning guy's
I'm not
doing.
saying that trans people are weak. Okay. I'm saying they're mentally weaker than most people.
I don't think that's true. Why would that?
Why are the rates of depression higher then?
So if do you think that you're by virtue of having depression, you're like mentally weaker? You don't think there could be like a cause to having depression?
Yes.
Really?
You
don't think that some people are caused? You don't think that some people are caused to have depression because of their environment?
Oh, hey, they're still weak. Because that's your fault.
Oh my
you
God.
Can't handle that environment.
No, that's not your fault. Wait, so if I look, if you're, let's say you're in like the Nazi death camps or something, and you're like really sad about it, is it your fault that you're sad? You just can't handle the environment.
Yes, that is your fault.
It's your fault.
Oh my God.
No, you didn't put yourself.
Yes, you did.
No, they drove you on a train, dog.
You chose.
Simply walk out. Simply walk out.
Exactly.
Look, I didn't choose to live in the U.S.
Yes, you did.
Why? How did I choose to live in the U.S.? I was born here.
Okay.
You chose your random spawn. No, I didn't.
Hold on. I'm not saying that you.
Just listen. We'll figure out.
Okay.
We
Continue.
silent. I just really, I think that it's really fascinating that this person thinks about the Holocaust. I think that the Jews.
Is it fascinating?
Bro.
Yeah. What's your problem?
Fascinating.
Nah.
What's your issue,
way,
buddy?
bro. Nah, I'm just listening in.
No, I'm talking to the other guy.
Who, Sinthe?
No.
No, that wasn't who I was talking to. I mean, shit, if they pipe down just like that, I mean, maybe it wasn't something to worry about, I guess. Is there, like, one thing I would ask, as a, like,
One thing I would ask.
holy shit, this guy's, like, autistic.
Damn, this is like the most downy server I think I've ever been in.
What the fuck?
Average conservative YouTube server.
We have one person nutting in the background. Bro thinks that
what?
we have is a nerdy thing to say. He mocked me like a nerd voice for saying,
Yeah,
I don't
those-
what's wrong? What are we doing?
Those both have one syllable. That's too fucking complicated for him. Can we get that in like caveman grunts like fucking guy in the suit is doing?
I don't even know what's happening.
Okay, so one thing I would ask you is, let's say you have 10 people and they're fucking awesome, okay? We have 10 people and they're all like the exact same person, okay? They're all completely cloned. They have the exact same like set of psychological thought. The only thing that's different about them is like their location, right? That's the only notable difference about any of the people. And they're all in different environments, right? And one of them is in an environment that's really shit and it causes them to have depression. Like one of them is thrown into the Nazi death camps. Would you say that like that one is mentally weaker?
Yes, I would. Okay.
What?
This guy is actually dumb.
They're mentally,
Yo, how so?
they're
How so?
mentally all
How so?
identical though. Like that was stipulated in the hypothetical. What do you mean when you say mentally weaker, I suppose?
by mentally weaker, I mean they're not able to handle as much
Retarded.
stress.
Oh, well, but if that's what stress is causing them depression and they can't handle it, right? None of the people could handle that much stress, right? They all presumably would have had the same effect given that environment. It's just that one of them was just unlucky enough to get the environment.
Well, they're all mentally weak.
No, that's crazy.
Do you
It's
think
simple.
that like I feel like most people would be depressed. I feel like you would be quite depressed if I took you and I threw you in a Nazi death camp. Do you think that you're mentally weak? If I were to take you and I were to like torture you for like years on end, I would suppose that it'd probably put you in a bad mental state as well. But I don't think that you're mentally weak, because if you were tortured, you would feel bad. And that doesn't seem to be right.
Hold on, let me make it like a point of my own.
Gotcha.
So let's say that I were like, I don't know. Let's say that I were like a Christian in like Saudi Arabia, because I don't think it's legal to be a Christian in Saudi Arabia, as far as
Hold on,
I
let me
know.
search this up.
But like let's say I'm like a Christian and bro, who is blasting stuff over their mic?
I don't know.
That guy in a suit.
I don't know. I feel
guy in
like,
the
Nah, that one wasn't me. That one wasn't me.
okay.
But yeah, let's say that like I'm like a Christian in Saudi Arabia, which is a country that's where it's, I think, illegal to be a Christian.
Oh yeah, it's
And I were-
yeah.
Oh
and
yeah,
I were
yeah,
to be
right.
and like I were to be like, I don't know, like threatened to be executed by the government or something like that, would that, and it would put me in a depressed state, would that mean that I am mentally weak?
I don't think so.
Then why would you be in the country in the first place if you knew this?
What if he was
Because, like,
forced?
Bro was like, why the
Yeah,
fuck were
well-
you born in that
What
country,
if he was
dog?
born there?
Why didn't you just
He
choose
was-
a
yeah, like-
spawn location? What the fuck is wrong with
Well,
you?
okay, you wouldn't
What if I was born in that country though? Like, would I have a choice?
What if he
You
said-
wouldn't be.
What if he was like
Hold on,
forced
hold on,
inside
hold
the
on.
country?
You wouldn't be. Who would force you inside there? Who?
I don't know. Maybe the person who gave me.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know.
I mean, it's
I
a
don't know, bro.
possibility,
Maybe the person who gave birth to me.
right? Maybe they want to let you leave.
You would never be Christian in Saudi Arabia.
Bro, are you
If-
stuck in?
If you were born, if you were born, you would never be Christian.
Yeah, well,
Wait, do you practice any religion?
Yes, I am Christian.
Wait, you're Christian? So presumably, you
Yep.
think that
I'm Christian too.
Wait, so presumably you think that it's rational for you to be Christian, right?
Yes.
So that seems like there
No.
would be reason then, under your view, for people to be Christian, even if they were born in Saudi Arabia, right? Do you think that the best argument?
Okay, Saudi Arabia?
yeah, like let's say, for example, that there's like a secret group of Christians that's trying their best not to be noticed by like the government or something.
Then why don't they just leave?
Dude, we went
Bro,
from coming.
Bro, they can't leave.
Like,
Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
Teleport out of Saudi Arabia. It's not that hard.
Hold on, what if they can't leave though? What if they don't have like the money or the funds to book a plane and just go to a different country?
Not that hard.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Bro, just
Okay.
Okay, but in all seriousness, like, okay, but
Like,
in
where
all
would you want to go?
seriousness, okay, but
like,
in all
another-
seriousness, like, okay, let me talk. Like, in all seriousness, though, like, what if they didn't have enough money to like move to another country?
All right.
I guess they're screwed.
Anybody can hide anything. Okay, so you just like don't practice your religion openly, do it privately, and then just save up enough
that's
money to where you can leave.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like I said, like a secret group of Christians in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Like that's why I said
Save
secret.
up money. Yeah, okay. Just save up money to leave then.
Yeah, like they can save up money, but of course it's not going to be easy. Like it's going to be probably a very hard thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going anymore.
Dude, did someone really just say okay and on I?
Hey, Moist. Hey, Moist. You're like bitching in the chat or something. You should just mic up.
What the fuck? But yeah, That would be that's an interesting scenario, but I don't think this this argument is going anywhere with this dude.
Well, I don't know. It's very strange. I feel like most people have a general similar psychological like stress threshold before they start having certain adverse effects. So I don't know. I think most people, if they were like,
I disagree with that.
Trans people, you don't think that most people have a similar threshold when it comes to stress?
No.
You don't think like there's an average there, or do you think there's just like there's like a bimodal?
See, I think I actually kind of disagree with that one too.
I'm sorry.
Because like,
what's the reason
like,
you disagree with that?
Because like different people would have, like, you know how people are different, right? You think they would have like different thresholds for stress. You know, it's like a variation between.
So what you just said
people.
was not in contradiction with what I said. What do you think I said?
You say that that people have like an average. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So your objection to there is an average in a data set is that there are points of variance in a data set.
Yeah, because like with different people, there
that's
could be
not
different
how math works.
thresholds. I'm not using math.
Hey, have y'all seen the words of
Look, I agree with
I'm just.
I agree with this other guy.
You shouldn't. He doesn't know what an average is.
But look,
No, I'm saying
we're stressed.
I'm making a counter. Whoa, chill. I'm making a counter argument. Because I'm saying with different people, right, there could be different stress thresholds. I mean,
that I said that there couldn't be?
No, I'm making a counter argument to what you said.
Okay, hold on.
So if you're making a counter argument to what I said, then why are you not contesting anything that I said? This seems like a really bad counter argument if it doesn't have to do with anything I said. What I said.
Hold on. I know what he's trying to say.
A majority of people have a similar threshold of stress, right? There's a species normality there. You're gonna have some kind of average. You're gonna have a mo within the set.
Honestly, W writing.
Right?
Okay.
All right, hold on. I understand what this other guy was.
Also have outliers within that set. Those can both be true.
Exactly.
Okay.
I understand what this other guy who's making a counter argument to you,
Gotcha.
Noah, trying to say.
Okay. So
He's trying to say for something like he's trying to say for something like stress, it would be impossible to form an average because for one, you'd have to make up a unit, and then that unit it can never be averaged out because you would have to make a scale.
Wait, hold on. First of all, absolutely, that is not true, right? That you couldn't average out the data set because you couldn't make a unit. That's not the point that he was making. But even if it was the point that he was making, it would just be wrong as well, right? We have ways of measuring people's different hormones within somebody's body. We can see the ways that it affects them. We have things like report, things like that could all be used as some kind of correlate to the actual stress levels of an individual. It's 100% the case that you can measure these types of things. I don't know where this idea comes from that like, because you have to make it a unit, it's now made up. We have units for everything. We make units like inches. Inches aren't like an objective thing.
How could we make units for emotions? How can we make units for emotions?
Just recall back to what I just said like 2 sentences ago. Gotcha. Okay, is there anything else?
Nice reply, limitless.
One more time?
Exactly.
What?
So, look,
what kind of argument is that? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That guy in the suit, are you like kind of retarded or something? So you kept making those weird drooling, moaning noises?
He is.
Sinthe. Where did we go from Saudi people? Okay, where do we go from this? Oh, we can make units for stress thresholds. To
what are you talking? What did you just try to say?
Saudi Arabia.
Look, if you don't understand the words of the people are using, you can just hold on, champ. Look, youngster, right? Just if you can't, look, youngster. If you can't hear it or understand what the other person's saying, you can just ask them what the words you're using. Who are you? You're pipe down, bomb boy 3000.
So,
Bro's got his BMI in his fucking username. I don't want to hear shit from you, bomb boy. Bro named himself down for his fucking body. Pipe down.
So,
I didn't do nothing.
I was saying was earlier is that there are 100% ways that we can measure stress levels within patients. Okay.
You are stupid. You are stupid. Stop. You're making me dumber. You're making me.
What argument do you think the Bunk said so far, or Noah here said this over this dumb?
That we could make a unit for
Limitless.
for threshold levels of stress. How
we
could
could
we
do
do
that.
that?
Of course, we can measure.
We created.
First of all, every single thing, every single operation within your body is going to be somewhat based out in things like hormones. It's going to be based out in the reactions of.
Here, periods.
I'm sorry.
I don't get those like you. I don't get those like you.
You think that I get periods?
Damn. Shit is crazy.
Nah, bro, he doesn't get any punctuation. Dog, he doesn't even learn exclamation marks yet. He can barely spell.
I'm sorry. Is this like? Are you trying to roast me for like sounding feminine? I don't know if you're trying to roast me for being a trans woman, which
Yeah, you are a trans
Woman.
which I'm not.
Yeah.
Trans woman.
Bunk's a trans guy.
Soundboard clips.
I don't know if you're trying
that's,
to roast me
that's,
for having,
limitless.
Like, a
That's
feminine
limitless.
voice. I'm sorry,
That's
my dude. Your
limitless.
balls have not dropped yet. You can't do roasting people for their voices just yet. It's a
You
perpetual
can't
cycle.
be. You
Dog,
can't
dog,
be.
your voice can't crack. You haven't hit puberty yet. Your voice can't crack, dog. You're before that.
Oh no! He tried to go for the voice crack, bro.
Going.
Bro, why can't we, bro? We get like back on topic. Like, what did this devolve into, bro?
Bro, I was devolved from the start.
So one way.
bullying a child.
Going for
I'm
the
gonna go back to the actual.
sins.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to the actual argument. Of course, you can.
Finally.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. You didn't have an actual argument to what I just said previously. So I'm gonna go inform you. Are you okay? Gotcha. So things that measure things is we can look at correlates of indicators
You
of
black
stress.
jello.
Things that are indicators of stress might be things like heart rate variability. You can take the heart rate that somebody has with a given period of time. If it varies greatly, it's an indication the patient is like more likely to be stressed.
That's heart rate.
No, but that's not what he's talking about. That's, bro. Wait. Okay, hold on. I think I understand what he's trying to say.
Are you?
Are you saying?
I'm sorry. What did you think that I said? Black jelly. Repeat back to me what I just said. Just like
But
the
what
last
is the
time.
link between? Okay, look, I understand that stress is linked with heart rate,
Paid after me.
but you can't measure out everything. You can't measure. You can't measure that. Like
You can't measure heart rate?
you
Are
can
you
measure
retarded?
heart rate. I never said that you can measure heart
I'm sorry,
rate.
what can't
I'm
you
saying,
measure?
yeah. Shut up. I'm saying that you couldn't measure stress from heart rate.
Yes, you can. Heart
not
rate
true.
variability
You
is
can
used in a
definitely measure
medical
stress from heart rate.
quiet. Heart rate variability is used in a medical context as an indicator of the stress of a given patient. You're just like wildly behind all of the science. You just have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You thought you were like a big shot. You came in here making claims about science. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Big shot.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Can a man become a woman?
Can a man become a
Oh,
woman?
hell no.
Yeah, let me ask you.
I don't.
The words man and woman?
Can a man become a woman,
That
Could be the
Cynthia?
case.
It's
Are
a
you
simple
talking about
question.
Natal sex? No, you can't like have the natal sex of like a natal sex of a
Honestly-
female and then a natal sex of a male.
I don't think a man can become a woman. Cancel me all you want.
W take.
I agree. Men cannot become women.
You guys talk.
God damn, all the retards are. I agree with that. That's right. None of you can make arguments. Out of the group of you, which one of you do you guys think is the smartest? Which one of you guys do you think is gonna make the best argument for your view?
Actually, you guys.
I don't fucking know.
You guys
Yeah, not you, dog. You know that.
Not you, bro.
Bro, I don't know how to measure smartness. How would I know?
Yo, I'm just saying that biologically,
IQ test, dummy.
a man cannot become a woman and vice versa.
Sorry. You didn't know measures
Exactly.
were before entering this conversation.
Measures. How do you?
So, Dakota, have you noticed these people like all talk in like internet terms all of the time? They'll like somebody will say something and be like, "That's W. That's a big W. That's a big progress."
W.
Yeah, honestly,
Dog,
modern
we're
internet-
on Discord.
Space.
We are on Discord.
Bro,
Wow, really, dog? I didn't realize. Thank you.
honestly,
Bro's got a one-track mind. He goes outside. He's like, "That's a butterfly. That's a cloud."
We're on the playground.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
think
say
we
an
gotta-
opinion of mine
you
real
know,
quick.
okay.
Fucking annoying. I'm sorry.
We
Who's
have
the
to
other guy
keep
talking?
Cynthia away from the playground.
okay.
We gotta keep Cynthia away from the playground.
Dog,
Can you actually
don't
let
worry,
me
you're
speak?
safe. I wouldn't even.
Wait, you ain't gotta say that. You ain't gotta say that,
So-
bro. That's unnecessary.
Okay, so I was gonna say, like an opinion of mine. I honestly just find modern slang to just be annoying.
How so?
I agree. A lot of the kind of specifically.
I agree.
Okay, no, they're kind of right. Specifically, stuff off of like super internet like commentary. Okay?
Like,
Holy shit!
Like
Bro, you're literally in a Pancho Discord
words
server.
like.
Holy shit! Are you gonna continue to point out the most obvious shit, bro? You just got mocked for this. Everybody just like shat on you for it. Are there any other observations you'd like to make?
What the fuck are we even talking about anymore?
Oh, we were talking
Exactly.
about whether trans people were delusional, and
But where did
Why can't we
modern
get back
slang
on the
come from?
topic?
Where did modern slang came from?
Why can't we just get back on the topic then?
real quick.
Yeah, come on.
We
Oh,
did.
yeah,
We
let's-
went on a huge tangent.
Okay.
yeah, bro. Sinthe.
To get back on the topic.
Yeah, let's just get back on the
So?
topic. Hey, I gotta go.
Holy
Hey, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay. So the way the conversation started is I was talking to this person about whether trans people were delusional. They seemed to disagree with the idea that I thought that was kind of absurd. We got down to
Absurd.
like are you? Oh my god. This is
Bro, just
so fucking
continue.
autistic. So
Just continue.
we went through the arguments generally surrounding the topic. One of the big ones was he said that they thought that they could like give birth, that they thought they could be a woman, and what they meant by woman is that they could give birth. And I asked them why they thought that they could give birth, and they just said, oh, well, they think that they can give birth because they think they can give birth. There was no deeper account of that, because obviously no trans person thinks that they were born natally female. That's like obviously not the case. So I ended up asking them like what's the false belief these people have, and they couldn't give me any false belief that was held by the individual, which would be a necessary condition for delusion, even by the most generous definition for it. And I think I had to piss, unless I'm forgetting something, and I handed it over to my buddy Dakota for a little bit. I don't know where the conversation went from there, but
It went into a downward spiral. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. Fucking know, bro.
I found
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was
We
really
know.
awesome when the guy was in here and he was like, "We are on Discord. We are in the Pancho Discord server, guys. We are."
Wow, I didn't know.
Right.
Thank you for reminding me.
He doesn't want us to get lost, guys. I gotta commend him. He's got a good heart.
I think we got pretty lost, actually. From the main subject. But that's just me.
I don't know. Is there anybody in here who's able to turn their fucking microphone on and explain why they think the trans people are delusional? Just asking for one person who could do that. Anyone? I mean, a lot of people are like shitposting in the chat and like pretending they've got like these really good arguments.
No, they have really good arguments.
one of them
They
could, like,
come
mic
to
up.
you, okay, it's like
They're secret, yeah.
it's like the basilisk thought experiment. Okay, you can't.
Yeah, I could, but I don't want to get stuck in like a 1 hour debate.
Yo, you could. You just get stuck in a 1 hour debate. What's your best? Well, I'll just ask you this: what's the false belief? Right, like it's a delusion,
False
right?
belief?
Yeah, it's a delusion.
The
So what's
false
the false
belief is that they're not what they were born as.
They're the opposite.
Do you think that trans people? Yeah. Do you think that trans people think that we're something different than what we're born as?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They're
Do you think that
trans.
we're okay? Do you think it's a false belief to say you're different than what you're born as?
All right, I'm back. What did he say?
I'm not talking to you right now.
Damn.
No, I'm asking what did you say? What was going?
Hold on, kid.
Brody,
Yeah, you
we're on
just
a
asked.
whole different conversation now. We're on a whole different conversation now.
All right, what
Look,
we
that
talking
guy in
about
his
now?
yeah, we're talking. Look, listen, and you'll figure out. Jesus. Look, that guy in his suit. I'm asking you, what's the false belief? You said the false belief was we think we're different than we were born. I'm asking you, do you think that's a false belief?
Yes.
Do you think were you born as a baby?
We all were.
Yeah.
I would assume so. Are you currently that guy in his suit? Are you currently a baby?
No.
Talking about in terms of gender, my guy.
Okay, so look, what do you think? Yeah, cool. What do you think? What do you think? Hold on. Wait, what do you think when trans people say we're a different gender than what we were born as? What do you think we mean by that?
I think
That
it means
you are.
Yeah, bomb boy, pipe down. Look, you have to let your other retarded friend talk, okay? And you can talk afterwards. I'll talk to you for as long as you want.
Okay,
What'd I do?
The only thing you've done is like just repeat back the most obvious statements that people have made and just like tried to mock them. It sounded really weird and artistic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Brody, it's not that deep. It's not that deep, bro.
Just Just let that guy in a suit finish his sentence, and he can make.
Shallow and like annoying.
Yeah, just let that guy in the suit finish his sentence, and maybe we'll figure out what the false belief is.
That's what I'm talking about.
The false belief is that they're born as a different gender than they already were.
Okay, what do you think we mean when we say we're born as a different gender?
You're born as, like, if you're born as a girl, you'd be born as a guy.
What do you think we mean when we say girl?
You have feminine traits, and you're born with the, what's it called, ability to have a child.
No, that's not what we mean when we say girl, right? We're not saying you have, look, we don't think that we have the ability.
Enlighten me.
Yeah, okay, I'm telling you that we don't think that we're like born with the ability to have a child and then we stop having that ability. It would be correct, right? We'd be correct if we thought that, because like obviously that we do change from having the ability to have a kid to not doing so. But that's not what we think, right? That's not what we're saying when we say that we've gone from a girl to a boy, right? You like obviously trans men do go from by your definition a girl to a boy, right? Right, we start out with a uterus and then we have the uterus removed. Yeah, so you would say we have a true belief, not a false belief. Right, but I'm just telling you, we don't use the word girl like that. We're using the word girl in a different way. So we don't have a false belief.
How are you using the word girl?
Define girl. Yeah, define it.
Okay, but just before we move to that, you
How are you
understand.
using the word girl?
Yes, I understand. It's
Pipe
not the
down,
same as
like
being able
Jesus
to give-
Christ. I don't need every retard to start like speaking
Okay.
at the same time.
Cynthia.
Jeez, no, it's not your
No,
turn
I
to
gotta
talk,
ask
kid.
you-
Look,
no,
wait for the
ask
talking.
you-
I just got asked a question by another person. Stop being rude. Okay, other people asked a question. I'm gonna answer that one first, and then you can ask me your question afterward. So what I was telling you is like, just before we move on, if you understand that there's no false belief, right? Then we've established that. Then I'll just explain to you what I mean when I say girl. Right, I'm saying a woman is somebody. A girl is like a young woman, and a woman is somebody who identifies as a feminine social archetype. Right? That's what I mean. Nothing to do with reproduction. You understand that, right? Nothing to do with reproduction.
Yes.
You're saying
Okay.
Continue.
So you understand there's no false belief, right?
sin.
There's
Yeah,
no
can I,
false
before we
belief
move on
when
to
it comes to
Bomboy 3000's related question, I want to ask that guy, and I want to get a question. I answer my question for that guy in a suit.
There is no question when it comes to childbirth. There's no false anything.
Okay, there's no false belief that trans people have. We don't have a delusion.
No, you have a delusion, just not with childbirth.
Okay, well now we'll move on then, and you can figure out what the new thing you want to say is a delusion. What's the false belief that trans people have?
You want me to say that or someone else?
I want you to say that. I want you to give me tell me the false belief that I have.
Let me explain this in a different way than I already did. A girl, just don't interrupt me. A girl is someone who's able to give birth. Now, I know it's not the way you use the term girl, but that's what it is. You can be a man and have feminine traits, but that doesn't mean you're a girl.
No, look. That's not what it is. The definition of a word, right?
It is what it is, though.
No, geez, yeah, no. Look, I didn't interrupt you after you. Look, I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you when you said some retarded shit, right?
Okay.
I want you to interrupt me when I say some smart shit, so you can listen and you'll figure shit out. So a definition doesn't say like what something is. It's just an encoding for a word. So you have some word, and then you have some other string of words that you can replace it with. So a definition is there's not like a true definition out there somewhere, right? Like dictionaries have multiple definitions for the same word. Different languages will use the same word in different ways.
We're using the same language here, buddy.
I think we're using different language. We're both using English, but we're both using a different definition of the word woman. Like I have one, you don't have one, right? That's the difference.
English
All right, wannabe Jane.
language has
Wannabe
the
Jane.
same definition for a woman.
Sorry, before we move on to that, you understand that guy in a suit, you understand you don't have a definition and I do?
What?
Look, your definition of a girl is what again?
Is someone who's able to give childbirth?
Okay, do you think baby girls exist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can they give birth to children?
Bro, you are
Bro,
stupid. You are
really-
Yeah, I was asking, retard in the background. I want that guy in a suit to answer the question. Not all of the retards. Look, I don't need all of the low IQ fucking 13-year-olds who are like flunking English class right now to tell me their stupid views. I just need to hear that guy in a suit.
Wait, hold on. That's fucked up to say. They're not flunking English class.
Yeah, that's
they,
kind of.
they
That was
barely got out.
that wasn't
It's summer break
necessary.
for them. Okay.
True.
That wasn't necessary.
Their summer-
No, it's totally necessary. If a retard wants to jump in, I'm gonna make fun of them, and like Noah here is gonna make fun of them as well.
Hold on, calm down.
Yeah, you can look. You can relax. I want that guy in a suit to answer the question.
No, I just want to set up a boundary.
No, you can set up whatever boundary you want. I'm setting up the boundary if you pipe down. Right? Look, kid. Nobody cares. Right? Nobody has ever gained anything from what you have to say because you don't know anything. You're 13 years old. So why don't you pipe down and let the older, that guy in a suit guy talk? Because maybe he's like a whopping 14 or something.
I forgot your question because you kept cussing people out.
My question, I don't know what cussing you're talking about. I'm being rude because you're stupid. So the question that I asked you, and I think it's rude to interrupt people, so I think it's justified to be. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Listen. This is why you get. You can relax. You can relax, kid. Look, you can relax, kid.
Okay, can y'all actually let him talk?
Yeah, like unironically, just stop constantly interrupting and like let other people speak really quick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So you guys are complaining about somebody being rude while you all come in to like over talk them all at like once. It's just very
exactly.
Very strange situation to be in.
Okay, I'll shut up then.
I think it'd be really cool because I'm taking a step back. Even though I agree with Dakota, I think it'd be cool if everybody else who agrees with the man in the suit guy would also take a step back and kind of let him have a conversation. But yeah.
Okay.
All
All right, how about no more interrupting and no more calling people retards for no reason?
Yep, nobody interrupts. I won't be rude back. I'm only rude when people are rude to me.
Okay, tell me your question one more time.
Yep, the question was, if it's the case that you think baby girls exist, do you think that baby girls have the ability to give birth to children?
Let me
Say reach maturity.
Let me rephrase
Yeah,
what I
bomb boy,
said.
retard. Holy shit, don't interrupt. Let that guy in a suit talk. Can somebody get this spastic to just kill himself or something? What's the point? What do you think you were interjecting to the conversation? Bomb boy.
Here, it's fine. Just don't go off on a rant. Just let me.
Just ignore him. It's not that deep.
Question.
It's not that deep. Look, repeating the same stupid line over and over again is not gonna make you sound less retarded. Like, just
you let
pipe
me-
down. Stop injecting yourself.
You're getting
Y'all,
hung up on
just-
what other people say. Just
Look, he's so upset. It's not that deep, bud. It's not that deep, kid.
it is.
Shut up.
No, he's super upset.
For the love of God.
Jesus.
Can we all like actually like give the guy in the suit like a whoever is playing a soundboard, you're a retard.
I hate to have to do the moderator thing. But can we like chill the fuck out again? Like,
Can you please let me talk, bro?
Okay.
Yeah, let the guy in the suit talk.
awesome.
Let him cook.
I appreciate you guys.
A baby girl, right? A baby girl. What I meant to say, instead of being able to give birth, is if they have a uterus, if they're in a vagina.
So do you think that if somebody gets a hysterectomy that they're no longer a woman?
And they have the right chromosomes that are scientifically identified.
So now you're changing your definition again?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, what if somebody's
They have-
intersex and they don't have the right chromosomes? Can they be a woman?
I mean, I guess so. If they have the chromosomes.
No, if they don't have the right chromosomes. I'm asking if somebody has, like, for example, there are people with, do you know what XX male syndrome is?
No.
Okay, it's exactly what it says in the 10, right? It's males who have XX chromosomes. Like, this is recognized in biology because it's something that happens. You look at the person on the outside, everything about them is going to be male. They're going to have testicles, they won't have a uterus, right, so on and so on. But they're going to have, if you test their chromosomes, they'll be XX. Not XXY or something like that, just XX, like the average female is.
Well,
Do you think those
I don't
people
know
do you think
that.
the scientists are wrong and those people are females?
for that small minority, I don't know what to call them.
Well, you should know what to call them because they, like, under your definition, they just be female, right?
Well, I don't know, because they have male genitals, but they have female chromosomes. So I don't know what to call them.
Feminine man.
Well, yeah, this is the difference between me and you is that I have a definition and you don't, right? Like, I've got a definition of woman, and you don't have one. There are these people who you have no idea if they are or aren't women, even if you know everything
Well,
about them.
what do you think they are for that small minority?
You know, I think it's whatever they identify as. So I think they're a woman if they identify as the woman is the feminine social archetype, right? The woman archetype. And they're a man if they identify as the masculine social archetype. I don't think this means you have to act masculine or act
in the kitchen.
Yeah, no, you actually can't, right? It's not your turn, right? So if you want after I'm done talking, then you can talk, right? Just be normal, right? Talking stick, right? Like a big boy, like an adult.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like a big boy.
I was
So
just asking.
after you can ask right after I'm done. Does that sound good? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish now. So what I was saying is, I'm not telling you that by feminine social archetype I mean you have to act feminine. I'm telling you there's like something sort of like a job role, like a social role that we have in our society. And you're a woman if you're part of the feminine one, right? The one that we usually assign to females. And you're a man if you're part of the masculine one, the one that we usually assign to males. Usually. Right. So I have a definition. There's not going to be any weird catch cases. You have like what you think is a definition, then we think about it for a second. It turns out you don't have one. But Bomb Boy, you wanted to jump in now. Then what do you want to say?
Well, no, you're wrong about. I have a definition. It just I don't know how to apply it to a certain.
That's called not having a definition. Yeah.
Wait.
No, that's just not knowing how to
You can't apply it.
Sorry.
Okay,
so,
hold on.
real quick. If other people are gonna hop in, I'm gonna try and like regulate the conversation, like shift it.
All right, may I speak? May I speak?
Bomb Boy wants to
Can I
speak.
go first?
Let Bomb
Okay,
Boy
you can
speak.
go.
We can let
me
Bomb Boy
cook.
speak, and then I'll try and get the point out with the definition. Yeah.
Go cook.
Let me get some time in the kitchen. The seasoning.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, Synth. So, definition of a woman is a human person with a vagina that can give birth that lactate.
Okay, so if you fail on any of the, yeah, look, you just had it. You give a much worse definition.
Chromosomes.
Look, you give a much worse definition. So if you have to, you said and, right? You have to have all of those things. You didn't say or.
Yes.
Okay, so if you can't, so if you don't have a uterus, then you're not a woman.
Yes.
Not even.
So if you have a hysterectomy, then you're not a woman.
Yes.
Okay, so then you can change from a man, you can change from a woman to a man.
Can't.
You can remove your uterus, dummy.
You could also become infertile. Like, is your grandma a
Hey,
man?
you can also chop.
I have a question, real fast. Is your grandma a man?
No.
Is your grandma capable of reproduction?
Well, hold up. We can't let Noah pipe in since Sinthe was all getting mad about
I
other
think-
people piping in.
Look,
Yeah,
that's
true,
fair.
true.
If you want, Noah can just not pipe in. That's fair. Look, I'm not gonna. Noah's not piping in because I'm gonna need help. Noah's just piping in because that answer was so fucking retarded they couldn't help themselves, right? So
I'm sorry.
Hey, we said no
How
one's
dare
calling
you.
people retards for
why
no
would I?
reason.
Exactly.
for no reason.
Yes,
Wait, what?
that-
Hold on. What do you think is no reason?
Well, because in my ideology, you'd be a retard, and in your ideology,
Yeah, one of us is correct and one of us is wrong, right? Only one of us can
Well,
be
in
correct.
your opinion, yeah.
You'll know, not in my opinion. There's just the law of non-contradiction. We can't both be correct.
Well,
Yeah,
Wow,
well,
that's
look, and this is
actually
the reason why I think there's good evidence to believe that you're a retard and I'm not. You sound retarded.
you sound
You sound
retarded.
gay.
Name a
sound
single.
retarded.
Yeah, you can say you sound gay. I would much rather be gay than a retard. Look, you can go around with your fucking sweatpants on and like shitting yourself in Kroger, and I'll go
What does
around.
sweatpants
I'll
do
go
to you?
around with my little
What does
pride flag button or
sweatpants do to
something,
you?
right? One of us.
What do you-
Yeah,
Well,
listen,
fans
man.
do.
I'd much rather.
Answer you.
What?
Yeah, I am able to.
I
And
don't think.
Like Coles come in and assassinate your family or something? What the fuck?
What is
so now that the retarded people are talking, right?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this is like a
Yeah,
wild
super aids.
This is
Nice.
a wild experience to be going through while high right now. Okay, this is a wild
I know, it's like all of this. It's like this like disproportionately really low IQ group is all clustered together in one spot on Discord.
Okay.
Like if I go to fucking Walmart and talk to random people, they'll be like several standard deviations above you. They'll fucking dwarf your intelligence.
Okay, go to Walmart then. Leave the VC.
You're so retarded. How is that what you gathered from what I just said? If I am retarded and people
If you're
at
so
Walmart are
annoyed
smarter
by all
than me,
these
then go to
quote-unquote
Walmart.
If you're so annoyed by all these quote unquote low IQ kids, and leave the VC.
But it's really funny, Moist. You're saying that I decided. You're saying that I decided. Yeah. Pipe down, champ. Look. So Moist, you're saying that I did. Oh my God, you just keep going. You people are retarded. Do you have like any self-control? Do you have like normal levels of impulse control?
Yeah.
Which argument do you think I made, Rocket, that you think was retarded?
Wait.
Hold on, I was asking. Look, Bomb Boy, is your name Rocket now?
Delusional.
Oh, me, pipe down.
Yeah, I'm telling you that your name isn't Rocket. Rocket, you said that being trans is not delusional was my retarded argument?
Bro, can people
Oh, wait, I
stop
couldn't hear
like
because of
using
the
a soundboard?
Yeah, just turn your soundboard volume down, Rocket.
Alright, hold up.
It's just Limitless that's doing the fucking soundboard thing. Like, who cares? Just turn it down. Mute them locally.
Well, no, you
Yeah, I
can
did.
just turn down soundboards entirely if you like go to the
So,
above and right click it.
yeah, exactly. But Rocket, you said that the argument that I made that you think is retarded is that trans people are not delusional?
Yes.
Okay, you understand if you're delusional, that means you got a false belief, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the false belief I've got?
The fact that you decide to switch to another gender, and that's because even if you're atheist,
It's not a belief. Look, that's an action. I'm asking you for a belief, not an action.
What does
So if I said
atheism
something
have
like, what
to
do I
with it?
believe? And then you said, you did the action of running to the store. That doesn't answer my question. I'm going to ask you again, what's the false belief? The answer. answer in the form of a belief.
False belief. Alright, yeah, my bad. Wait. I'm just 13 years old, so I can't really think that well.
When I was 13, I was having trouble with this.
Hold on. That was actually super honest.
When I was 13.
I don't even care. That guy's on. That guy's gonna get chat. That guy's gonna grow up.
Alright, guys.
Probably. Yeah. It is kind of honest. I appreciate it.
That was pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I'm just 13. I don't really know.
That's true.
But you, Rocket, you understand when you're like talking this like massive fucking game in the chat, and like the moment you come into VC, you're like, I don't think very well. You know, it's kind of like, from my perspective, it's kind of annoying, right? You get why that would be annoying?
Okay, I don't really care. I understand, but I don't really care.
Yeah, you understand was the question, right? You don't have to care, right?
I mean,
You're like
personally,
you're a small
I understand
child.
it's annoying for you, but like, if it
Well, it's
weren't
annoying to
for
most
me,
people.
I
You
would just
understand that's like a
ignore it.
stupid thing to do?
You don't speak for most people, Mark.
You forgot what we're talking about? Were you asking what's a stupid thing to do? The thing you just did.
I don't get the concept.
What did I just do?
What is Spike Chiller?
He forgot. He's got, look, you're 13 years old. How do you have dementia? How did that happen?
What?
My God.
Common problem that
Bro,
you
what are you even talking about?
Bro, Synth.
Headphones.
That's
Bro.
insensitive.
Yes, yeah.
That's very insensitive.
Yes.
You're bringing up dementia. My grandma died from dementia, bro.
Yeah, I killed her.
You know, it's a very, it's actually, it's just a very serious disease.
Cindy.
Limitless,
Cindy,
who are the motherfuckers
Cindy.
I'm ignoring who are actually willing to debate? You tell me, Limitless.
I'll debate you.
Arcana? Look, Arcana, you want to mute up or you want to unmute so I can hear you? I can't hear you unless you unmute your microphone.
Oh my God.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and have a
Dude's
text
winning
debate.
Cindy.
So you can just say stupid
I
shit
will
about it.
debate
Winning arguments by calling people retards and kids.
I mean,
Look, I'm not winning arguments by calling you retarded. I'm winning the argument, then I'm calling you retarded.
Cindy.
No, you're not.
Cindy.
Which of my arguments? Yeah, hold on. Which of my arguments do you think wasn't successful?
I like how they're like trying to insult you
on
by
me.
mispronouncing your name to be like an extremely feminine name as a trans woman. That's like a pretty. That's a pretty.
I don't know how to
wild thing
pronounce
do.
that shit.
I'm a trans man. I don't know what you're
How do
talking
you say it? Sinthe? Sinthe?
about. I don't give a fuck how you pronounce. You can pronounce whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
It's,
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
We're gonna call her Seth. We're gonna call him Seth.
I like,
Seth,
how,
that's
I like
his
how
name.
you correctly gendered them, and then you you went back the fuck out.
Yeah, I'll
You did
debate.
the thing. You did like the meme.
Yep.
My microphone.
Okay, guys.
Hey, do y'all hear this? Is my mic?
We're gonna-
hold on. I don't know if
my mic working?
If it'd be preferable if anybody has like a
Is my mic
I
working?
heard you loud.
Yes, it's working.
Okay, thank you. Jesus, Nick,
Yeah, no, you were saying.
go on.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought this person has something to say. So the no, I can take up the conversation if you guys think Synth is being too mean and Synth is a man. Taking it up.
Noah's nice. I'm mean.
Yeah, I'm the good cop.
Exactly.
I would appreciate it if you can shut him up.
All right, Cindy.
That's not gonna happen.
Hold on, let me say
Your
something.
average day ninja.
No, so what was the proposition last
What the
interview?
fuck?
Trans women are delusional. We're still stuck on what's the false belief.
So
All right.
I'm still on that.
understand, I suppose, that whenever trans women identify themselves as trans women, they're saying their natal sex is not that of a female, right? Because then they just be a cis woman, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if they understand that they don't have the natal sex of
Is
a
a
female,
cis
saying
woman.
that the delusion they have is that they have the natal sex of a female, seems a little silly. I'm not sure. That's normally the
Little
argument that
goofy,
I'm given, but it doesn't.
silly, little
I don't know, it doesn't
wacky.
seem to stand. I like if you have some other belief that you think that they hold is false. I'd be interested in hearing that. If you have like an
Okay,
option.
okay, hold on.
But whenever it comes to
No,
like
okay,
what is
I
really
think-
delivered, I don't think it's very strong.
I think I'm a little lost. Okay, so like, who was talking? Noah?
Dude did not even hear what you just said.
No, I'm being real. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm like
Let him-
not lost.
No, don't worry,
him
buddy. What do you need help with? What's going on?
Okay, so I know you probably just said it, but I'm just trying to figure out what is your, I guess, take on this argument that we're having right here.
Oh, I don't think that it's entailed by being trans that you have a delusion. I don't think it's the case that trans people are delusional.
Okay.
I think it's just like the problem that you'll run into with people who make the argument is they're just kind of they're doing this thing called equivocating between terms. It's I can't remember if it's a formal and informal fallacy. So but it's a form of fallacious reasoning where you take like you take one definition that somebody's using and you equivocate it to a different definition of that same word. So like an example for it to like get away from the like jargon is if I were to be like, if you were to see me on the street, right, and I were to be like flipping around like a dark paper bag, and I said, wow, you know, I like tossed it up in the air and I said, wow, this paper bag is really light. And then you would come in and say, well, wait, that's not the case. The paper bag is not light, okay? It's actually a very dark paper bag. Like, what you're doing there is you're equivocating between the term, the term light, right? I'm using the word light to refer to the weight of the object, and you're using the word light to refer to the hue of the object, right?
Okay.
We're using. Wait, Noah. What you're saying? Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so you're saying that we're using physical definitions while you're using emotional definitions, or
kind of. So I'm big idea. I've kind of repped the idea a lot that we use words in different ways in different contexts. So like for example, whenever I'm using the word parent, right? Sometimes I'm saying the word parent, and what I mean by parent is like I'm meaning the biological sense, right? Like that child lost their parents, right? Even if they're like they're like an adopted child, right? They lost.
Yeah, but we have a word for someone who's a parent but isn't biologically. It's a guardian.
Exactly.
That's not true. That's legal.
How is that not true?
Have you ever read like a paper for like a submission for like
First of all,
that says parent?
Wouldn't it just be called adopted parents?
Myself because I'm getting cut off. It's probably best to stop cutting me off. So a guardian.
Don't want to mess with my angry
yes, it is.
Look, if you look with how fucking incredibly polite that Noah's being to you, this is why I treat you guys like the subhuman retards you are. And then you guys start crying about me being rude.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
okay.
rude.
Look.
So
yes, you heard me right. You are extra subhuman.
You're saying I'm not a human.
Can I get
You're saying I'm not.
Yeah,
saying I don't have a soul, or
so,
what a retard. He doesn't know. Go ahead, Noah.
So the problem is, first of all, that's actually not what the word guardian means, right? Guardians are not legally parents. They don't have the same legal responsibilities as parents do. To some degree they do, and to other degrees they don't. Adoptive parents are going to be like the term that you're looking for there. But I don't think that we'd say like somebody's delusional if they say like I'm the parent of this child and that they were their adoptive parent, right? If I were like a teacher in a classroom, for example, and I said, "Hey, kids, send this note home to your parents," right? I'm not gonna be like, "Wait, hold on, wait."
Or guardian.
Why would you send it back to the person who's like adopted you? It's like, okay, well, it's because in the sense that we're using parent there, we're using it to describe the social relation, and then also similarly that goes for other terms as well, right? It would go for terms that even like really basic terms that we use for day to day, like plane. Sometimes I'm using plane to refer to like a flat plane of grass. Other times I'm using it to refer to like a flying metallic object with two wings.
Yeah, but they're different.
It also, I'm sorry, real quick. Hit me with it.
So plane, like a flat surface, is spelled Plain, and plane, like something that flies in the air, it's Plane.
I'm incredibly aware. It's relevant.
Did you find a word that has two different definitions? Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good example.
I'm sorry, I didn't think it would be. Light is another one. That's one that's going to be spelled the same. Like there's a bunch of different words that we use in this way. But there are going to be a lot of words that we're going to be using that are going to have different meanings in different contexts. And the same goes for words like man and woman, right? So sometimes whenever I use the word man, what I'm using it to refer to is I'm using it to refer to like a set of biological characteristics. I'm referring to like to somebody being assigned male at birth. They have the natal sex. They've got the a certain set of characteristics, which to a certain threshold of having the sex characteristics, they get qualified as male, right? But then other times, if I use the word man, I'm using it to refer to like a fulfilling of the social category. So I could say like, what are you doing? Be a man, right? And in that case, I'm not asking them to like grow an extra Y chromosome or something like that. Right? That's not what I'm requesting. Telling them to fulfill certain societal roles, or whatever, we talk to like small boys and we say, hey, this is a part of being a man, right? We're telling them is not like this is necessarily required for to be like biologically categorized as a male. What we're saying is there's a social category, and to fulfill it and to like properly fulfill it and to take up your social job, you have to do certain things, you have to complete certain tasks. And then there's other times when people are using the word in like a more of a prescriptive sense to like to do good with the word or use the word the way they should be defined. Right? And what happens in these conversations, I think, is that you have people who are using the word in one sense, and you have people who are using the word in the other sense, and they'll see people using the word in the first sense, and they'll think, well, what the fuck are they saying? It's clearly their claim isn't true. When I use that word, I mean a different thing by it. But I think, like, obviously, we're talking about people having a delusion. They have to actually believe something, and if they don't believe it, then they're not gonna be delusional.
All right. I think I'm in my position pretty clear. I'm gonna log off. I refuse to argue about retarded topics with retards anymore. See y'all later, man.
You have a good night, my dude. All right.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Cook another time.
Gotcha.
It's actually crazy how incredibly fucking nice Noah is. I have no idea. I don't get the motivation.
Yeah. Okay, look.
You people are not worth it. What do you mean by you people? Go ahead, Adam.
Shut up, bro.
You know what I mean.
Wait, you called us people before, and now we're we were subhuman before, and now we're people.
Yeah,
True. Well, I'm vegan. It's fine.
All right, Seth is an alien. Seth is an alien.
An alien? You got me with that one. Oh no.
Like an illegal?
Look, I'm not. Yes. No, like, ironically, if your IQ's like 70, it's hard to not see somebody who's like normal as somebody who's gonna be like a fucking superhuman or something. It's crazy.
Seth.
Look, I know to you this is like a higher intelligence.
Go for the bait.
I don't watch you at all. What are you talking about?
Then why are you in the Discord?
I'm in the Discord because somebody else sent me an invite. Noah sent me an invite. Noah can tell you. I've never seen your videos. I don't know anything about you. Do you think that trans people are delusional? I don't know.
Gotcha. I didn't know. My fault. Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, your fault. Now go ahead and answer my question.
Whoa.
Honestly,
look, if you want to be aggressive and dickish, people are going to be aggressive and dickish back. So go ahead and answer the question. Do you think trans people are delusional? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the false belief?
What's the false belief? Their own gender?
What do you think when a trans person says something like I'm a woman? What do you think she means by that?
I mean, well, what I think this dude that's dressing up as a woman means is I think I'm a woman.
What do you think she means by woman?
Well, are you asking me what a woman is?
I'm asking you, what do you think the trans person means when she says the word woman?
Bro, repeat that for me because I didn't know we were diving.
What do you think a trans person means when she says that she's a woman? What do you think the word woman means to the trans person?
Pancho, record this.
Yeah, record it.
Nah.
Guarantee you're not gonna upload this shit anywhere if you record it. You're gonna be fucking embarrassed. You're struggling on
trans woman mean. No, because it's such a stupid topic. So you're asking me, what is a trans woman?
Bro, you sound like a retard.
You sound really bad, Pancho. Just go ahead and answer the question. What does a trans woman mean when she says she's a woman?
Bro, let him cook, bro. Stop being rude and learn.
Bro, burnt it. I'm letting him cook. Go ahead, Pancho. Cook.
One more time for me.
What does a trans woman mean when she says that she is a woman? What do you think that word woman means when the trans woman says it?
They think that they're a woman.
What do you think the word woman means? There you go. Let's go.
What they think it is. A woman is somebody who can reproduce.
That's not the question that I asked you. I'm not asking you what do you think it means.
Your question is irrelevant to what
the question is very relevant. I'm asking you a question and you can't answer it.
No, because I frankly don't care what delusion.
Look, if a person, if I say, look, I'll give you a simple explanation and you can understand this. You're struggling, right? So if I say something like, by X, I mean 3.
Thinking that.
By X, I mean 3. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is a really...
Questions.
What question? Sorry, what was my last question?
What does a trans person mean when they say they're a woman?
And you said you answered that question?
Bro, slow down, homie. You're nervous.
And you said you answered that question? Look, you calling me nervous when you're clearly struggling through the argument's not going to make me sound more nervous. No. You can say I sound aggressive.
Talking fast is a clear indication.
I always talk fast. If you were confident in your argument, you wouldn't be like moving away from the topic. I'm just asking you a simple question.
I moved away from the top.
Just now, you said that you answered all my questions. I asked you what my question was, and now I'm asking you, do you think you answered that? Because you said you gave a justification for why it was okay for you not to answer it.
I have one question, bro.
No, you don't get to ask me a question. Answer my question. What?
It's my fucking.
You fucking weasel. You're such a bitch. You're scared.
Are you a tranny?
You're scared. You're fucking terrified. You're terrified.
Pancho, he's the trend.
Look, this is a simple question. You said you've answered it. You know you haven't.
Yes, I do.
You gave a justification for why it was okay for you not to answer it. You said it's not relevant. Right? I'm asking you.
You're asking me a question like, why is 2 + 2 = 5? Why?
No, I'm not. I never asked you that. Look, no. if you asked me why does 2 + 2 = 5, I would say it's the definitions of those words.
You're a tranny arguing out of bad faith, so.
I'm arguing in bad faith? You're not even engaging.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, what have I said so far that's been dishonest?
Well, you're implying that trans people aren't delusional, so
yes,
that's honest.
Yeah, we're arguing about that now, and you can't substantiate the point. I'm having a really easy time arguing my position.
You're using big words to make everybody think you're smart when we're just.
Look, I'm not using big words to make you think I'm smart. I'm using big words because I'm used to using them and they're natural, right? Like I read books. You're retarded, so it's different.
Now we're insulting. God damn it.
That's what you just did, dummy. You just wait, hold on. Now we're insulting? When you said I'm a tranny arguing in bad faith? Oh my god, he fucking banned me. Holy shit. Fastest debate of my fucking life. Damn. So that's I think his name is Pancho. Very large YouTuber, says a lot of stupid shit. Doesn't really like trans people very much. But I don't know that's bad. I thought he would have like arguments. I mean, I didn't think he'd have good ones, but I thought he would have some.
You guys heard his question. You guys heard his question. Listen. This is his psychology. He goes, what does a woman mean? Or what does a trans person mean when they call themselves a woman? Bro, what kind of question is that? Like, dude, what? Just say what you mean. Say what you mean.
What they mean is kind of obvious, right? It's like you're critiquing them for having some delusion. You say they believe this thing, asking for clarification on the term of what they believe is going to be important because there's equivocation between the two terms, right? So an example could be if I were to say like this bag I'm holding is really light, it's like a dark paper bag, and you were to say, oh well, that dark paper bag that's actually a dark bag, it's not a light bag. It'd be a equivocation between the two terms. I wouldn't have a false belief. You could just ask me like, well, what do they mean whenever they say it's a light paper bag? Well, whenever they say light, they're referring to the weight of the
bro has object. Destiny on 24/7.
I'm sorry.
I can hear it in the mannerisms. I can hear it in everything. But no, I mean, really, what it was
literally anything I just said. Or are you just gonna wind up on me sounding like Destiny?
Okay, so bro, we're playing the whole holy shit. Response, right? So what's funny? Yeah, exactly. There's no response because I'm already set on my belief with it.
Dog, I know you said your belief. I'm asking you for justification.
Dog, Destiny Watcher confirmed, bro. It's so obvious, bro. Just at least admit that.
You're trying so hard right now.
I feel like
you said.
Let's speak on this.
You have no argument for this. Why do you talk about this issue, dude? Why do you publish?
Because it involves kids. That was the only reason why I talked about it.
You have no idea what the fuck's going on. How do you even know if it involves kids?
Yes, he does.
It does.
He does.
Bro.
What's the video, bro?
What are you talking about?
For real.
Sorry.
Watch the video and you would know.
Team crap at school.
Sorry. What do you think is the problem that's going on right now? Okay. Let's have a conversation about that. So we understand you don't know whether trans people are delusional or not. You've got no clue. There's no reason for you to believe that. Nothing there.
Yes, I mean, I truly do believe it because they're confused about something as they're confused about something as concrete. The fact that we're even debating this is retarded because I didn't even want to in the first place. But hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm answering.
All right.
So the reason why I think they're delusional is because they're confused about something as concrete and as stable and static as your gender that you're created with at birth. But since
do you think they're confused with what gender they were assigned at birth? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think when they say that they're a trans woman? What do you think that means?
So you're asking me what a trans woman is? It's a man who tries to act like a woman.
Oh yeah, it's someone who's assigned male at birth. So it doesn't sound like they're confused. It sounds like they know that they're assigned male at birth. It sounds like they're painfully aware of it.
Okay, we're not playing the word game. You knew exactly what I meant. You're just trying to make me look stupid.
I'm clarifying the terms. You're playing the word game. That's what happens in all of these conversations.
You know exactly what I meant, bro.
I know exactly what I meant. You were equivocating between two terms again. I totally understood what you were doing.
What I was saying was somebody who was confused about their own gender that they were created with.
Well, what are they confused about?
And you...
It's clearly not their birth sex. No, he said the birth sex, but then he acknowledged they know their birth sex. So I'm asking what they're confused about.
They're confused and misidentifying what they were created to be and created as.
To be?
Yeah.
By what?
Boys turn into men, girls turn into women, right?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you say they're created to be something. That's intent. Where's the intent come?
Oh my gosh. See, the word game again, dude. You're holding on to singular words I use just because I don't speak like I'm reading a dictionary 24/7. And you don't understand my actual point.
No, I understand the point.
Okay, then address the point and don't address the word games. Come on, dude. I'm actually taking you serious because you're not insulting me.
I'm trying to be really nice.
I know I'm making a...
Okay. So,
well, it's not about being nice. It's being about logical. But go on. I'm playing the word game now. Shit.
I got you.
I'm playing the word game now. It's contagious, dude.
It's fucking COVID again. That shit'll fucking... That'll actually hospitalize you. No, the problem is when you say things like intended, like what they should be, right? They should grow up to be. That's when we use that word, we mean it when it's like indexed to some kind of goal, right? I'm asking, like, what is that goal?
Are you asking what the goal is to be a man and a woman?
No, if I were to say, like, hey, dude, you should get up. We have to go, right? The reason you should get up is because if you don't get up, we cannot go.
Okay, let's focus on the question.
I'm trying to clarify, so I'm just using
Well, I know what you mean. So typically, when it comes to boys turning into men and girls turning into women, they grow up and they adapt to different traits. For example, a naturally masculine man, for example, is confident, he's responsible, he has focus, he's very logical, right? And that's typically like those are masculine traits, right? And I understand that life is a balance, right? Yeah. There's women with masculine traits and there's men with feminine traits. But
yeah,
essentially that's what I mean. Like they go towards their natural progressions. A natural feminine, I'd say, is something like unconditional love, right? They're nurturing, they have a lot of kindness, they're intuitive and shit.
Yeah, sure. I think you could...
What's your point?
Yeah, so now I understand what you're actually trying to get at here. So I think that there is some kind of degree where people's birth sex does play a role in the ways that they tend to act and behave, but I also think that to some degree people can act and behave outside of those given categorizations. I think that the people who are trans, it seems kind of obvious to me that they have some kind of desire to act in a way that's actually completely not aligned with that set of characteristics and that set of goals.
And that's fine. You don't have to be confused. You can take those traits, right?
They know for a fact that they don't want to be that. They don't want to be classified in the way that...
No, here's my point. There can be women with masculine traits and men with feminine traits. But that doesn't mean you have to confuse something as concrete as your gender, because that's not changing. It doesn't change. We have a bunch of studies that are put into place by lesbians that dictate that, and we don't even point an eye or raise an eyebrow to if these studies are even biased or not. We just look at them. The studies say this. The studies say that. Yeah, well, the studies were conducted by a dyke, bro. I mean.
Okay. Real quick.
Go on, though. What were you saying?
All right, sorry. No, it feels like you cut me off, but I don't want to be super interrupted.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
No, you could have just completely not. I was just trying to really hard get at the rebuttal because it kind of felt like it was just rapid fire off a bunch of points. But the first thing that you said, to recall back to that, is you said that they had some kind of confusion about it. I think we already established they're not confused about anything. There's no confusion.
No, we haven't establised that. They're completely confused about their own gender.
Wait, hold on. When you say their own gender, what does gender mean there?
What you're asking?
Yeah, because I use gender in a different way that you use gender. I'm pretty sure. Gender mean here?
Yeah. Exactly. It's your biological.
But
let me look it up.
But we already.
Let me see what Google has to say.
Like biological sex, I understand. So, but we already established earlier in the conversation, you'll recall, right? They know their biological sex, so that can't be what they're confused about.
Well, we'd also have new studies that say they're separate, and I don't agree with that either. I think they're completely the same thing. I think has always been just another way of saying sex, but then we had a bunch of people on the other side saying that it's otherwise, and they make up these mental gymnastic studies about how it's different.
So
when I think, sorry, go on.
So those aren't a study thing. That's like an academic consensus thing. So they just have to like have a word for it. I don't really care if you disagree with the word use. I don't really care about that. I don't like to play the like silly language game where we go back and forth. That's why I'm asking you what you mean by terms, because I think that that's more important than like us both using a term that we both think we understand what they mean.
It's so simple, but you make it so complicated, bro. It's so simple. Gender, we know what gender is. We know what sex is. But they psyop you into thinking it's more complicated. Because it's really not. When we're going through our day-to-day lives, you see men, you see women, and it's as simple as that. I don't think we need to overlook it and take it so serious and go into intricate detail and act like a bunch of
women. But that's not what we're disputing here, right? There are different things that we can talk about.
Yes, that is gender.
Talk about society.
That is gender.
Yeah, we can talk about that aspect of gender. We can also talk about people's alignment with given social categorizations. That's an aspect of gender people need to research. And then there's also different ways that we can use gender. It's like a sex classification. Right? These are all different ways that the word gender is used in academia. Sometimes it's used a little bit less so when it comes to sex than it used to be, because they want to have that distinction, because it doesn't really matter what word they're using. They're describing something that very much so isn't sex, right? When they're describing, like if I were to ask you, let's say Pancho, that like I'm talking to you on an off day and I say like, Pancho, what the fuck are you doing? Be a real man or something like that, or like be a man. What I'm asking you there, right, as I'm not asking you to have some biological trait changed about you. What I'm asking you to do is to fulfill a set of societal expectations we were talking about earlier in the
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah.
But like when I talk about the set,
but it's not even it's not even a societal. It's not just a societal whatever you said. It's also just somebody going through their own path that's natural, right? That's a natural progression.
Well, for some,
I mean, by default, I mean, men are stronger than women, so it makes sense that we focus on things like inner strength, because biologically, it's already proven that on average we're stronger, so it makes sense. And on average, women are also more emotional, for better or for worse. I mean, I think it's beautiful. It's part of life, right? Kumbaya. But that's why we focus on being more logical, and we leave the emotions and the unconditional love and the allowingness and emotionalness, whatever you say, to them. And it's not even about a societal expectation. It's just our natural progression. Men are strong, women are emotional and loving, and we're confident, and that's just how it is. I mean, that's just, these are masculine and feminine traits, obviously, right? We're not even diving into the gender part of it. Obviously they can intertwine, but just because you're a girl that has some masculine traits, say you have even more masculine traits than feminine traits, that doesn't mean you're a fucking guy. It just means you're a masculine woman, right? And dude, to be honest, dude, when we're even
over a bunch of different things, and I would really like to address all of them.
Well, it's simple. It's not. No, it's
all of them off at me.
So you disagree with most of what I said?
I disagree with some of it. It's like very minor disagreement. I think like
then we can't. I don't.
You don't even know what.
Dude, I'm not a professional. I know. Listen. Okay, listen though. Listen.
Yeah, you've been like spitting off like 20 million points. I've been trying to get my.
Let Pancho speak, my guy.
Bro, he's been talking for the last 10 minutes, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Bro, I sat here.
Noah, can you at least admit one thing? Can you at least admit one thing, bro? You watch a lot of Destiny. I can smell it, bro. Even in your speech, bro.
Way back when I used to. But no, not recently, no.
Bro sucked in all the Destiny juice and said, all right, I've collected enough intellect.
Unreal, dude. I don't know. Destiny, some of Destiny's positions are a little bit...
Dude, to be honest, I don't even like discussing these things, dude, because I'm fine on how I believe it, and I don't want to debate it. Well, it's as simple as that.
That's fine.
And
oh my fuck, bro, I'm not gonna get
a word
out in this comment. Fucking go for it.
Well, because I'm not done talking, because I speak at a normal pace, and when you chime in and say something, you think I'm done speaking when I'm not. So that's when you stop yourself into thinking that I'm interrupting you.
Homeboy. It was like fucking, it was like at least a minute between that and your last monologue. I'm sorry. Just tell me whenever I can get a word in, okay?
No, I mean, all I was saying was I don't even want to debate it. I don't care. I really don't.
Gotcha. But the thing is like you go and you publicly talk about these issues, which I think have a lot of things that we can go into and like we can dive in and we can explore, and it kind of feels really, really weird that to go publicly talk about them all and like make a ton of content showing your opinions about it, and then not be willing to like try and actually look into the issue and see if there are perspectives on the issue, right? Like if I were to make a shit ton of videos where I talked about like fucking like Russia and Ukraine or something I don't know fuck all about, right? And then people would be like, hey, you're kind of mistaken on this. Can like I try and explain to you why I think you're mistaken? And then I was like, well, I'm not gonna fucking talk about that. I'm good with how I think about it right now. It kind of feels like I'm treating the issue less so as like an actual issue that I care about, and more so as like a pop thing that like is just like it's like the meme where it's the fucking NPC guy who's that's the chip swapped out or whatever the fuck. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know.
I understand. Yeah. See, when it comes to talking about how, I'm willing to talk about these things, but when it starts off with the fact that a lot of these people who disagree can't even acknowledge the fact that they're confused about something so concrete, it shows me that we can't get anywhere. We can't go anywhere because they automatically run with the idea that they're not confused about anything and they're justified in their belief system. And it's like just a whole bunch of mental gymnastics that fuels that whole side of the argument. So it's like, it's literally just fighting with like logic and delusion. So that's why I don't, because I know in my mind when I have Tipster and all these people talking about me on Twitter, I just know I can't get anywhere with these people because it's a dead end, right? Or it's a endless tunnel of just different mental gymnastics arguments. Like, especially when, you know, it's so emotionally driven as well. Like the fact that I called trans people delusional, which is something so simple, and Tipster was like, oh, this guy definitely hates transgenders. Just because I said that instead of saying something was like, well, why do you think they're delusional, Pancho? Like that set the tone for the whole thing with him, right?
That's why you probably declined the conversation. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah,
of course, and I think most people know that. They're like, dude, why would you talk to this locale? The fact that I even gave an attention, I still regret. I'm like, oh my god, now he's just constantly lurking and polishing me and shit. It's like, bro, relax.
The thing is, though, I think that it's a really hard claim to defend that trans people are delusional, because I feel like it's happening in a lot of these conversations. And I think you said it earlier, it's like a language game that people are playing, which is why I try to be really clear.
And the studies.
That I use. Well, we can talk about the studies later. I'm pretty well versed on the studies.
I don't want to talk about it at all, bro. To be honest, I don't care enough.
We don't have to talk about any of the academia, okay? We can just.
I like that you're cool, though. Like, you're not a fucking weirdo about it, autist about it. Like, I mean, you talk pretty fast and use big words to describe such simple things, but hey, I mean, at least you're not like Tipster and Fat Wojak, right?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm not fat, okay? I'm like schizo.
Thank God.
Schizo weightlifter guy. So the
hell yeah.
Well, what was it? No, I feel like a lot of the times when I come into these conversations, it's like if somebody were to say, "Hey guys, I flew on a plane yesterday," and I have somebody else come into the room and say like, "Wait, you think that you flew on a plane yesterday? You sat down on like a flat like place of grass and you started flying? Absolutely not. You're delusional as shit." And it's like, okay, wait. When they say plane, they don't mean the same thing as what you meant when you say plane, and that's what like really frustrating, I think. Yeah.
It's very okay. Yeah, my channel is where I shit out my thoughts, dude. I'm not a politician. I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want, though, and you know that's just how I look at it, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
And I've very clearly stated because the problem with that they'll have is, but you're radicalizing this, you're doing this, you're influencing this way. Dude, I make it very clear during all my videos where I dive into controversial topics, like, dude, I have no pure hatred for any of these people. I hope they get the help they need and not want, because the help they need is apparently you know, getting surgery to get their private parts removed, which is so crazy. That's like the end of the line. That's like the end of the road with these people, you know?
You say that you wait, hold on. You say that you don't want to talk about like the studies, and then you're like, but now, like you're making claims with the medicine. No, it's driving me crazy.
Okay, well, it's because we're on the topic of it, dude. But it's really irrelevant. We can move past it. Truly.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm not like.
But hey, man, you've been cool.
Yeah, I'm not interested. That you've been really chill. The times that we talked, I think we talked like only once on Augie's stream or something like that. But yeah, you seem pretty chill. I don't know. I just think that some of the things about the trans issues are mistaken. But I don't know. You don't seem to be willing to dive super deep into it. But I think, I guess in conclusion, I think that
we disagree. We disagree. It's as simple as that, my friend.
I think we disagree. But I think it's the case that it's a very, very hard claim to justify that trans.
We disagree, my friend. It's as simple as that.
I agree that we disagree.
Yeah.
And see, now you agree with me, asshole. now I'm wrong. Fuck you. Yeah. I don't know. It was a good chat though. All right.
Yeah. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, you too. Peace, but dude. Have a good night.